All right, so I'd like to introduce Fayetteville Public Library's Melissa Taylor, manager of the Center for Innovation, and Chris Moody, director of IT, AV, and Innovation, who will share with us information about their innovative program From Maker to Market, which serves as a blueprint for libraries looking to empower their communities, promote entrepreneurship, and become catalysts for economic growth. All right, I'll pass it on over to you both.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having us today. We're excited to share with the community more about our From Maker to Market program, which is one of our signature programs here at Fayetteville Public Library. Let me go ahead and just kind of jump right in. Let me get my PowerPoint going. Boom. And then I will share. Wait, can I not do that yet? I have to do this first.
Minimize and then you can share. Soon we're sharing.
We got this.
We're going to share things. Yep. I think that's it.
Yeah,
it's
got it. Cool. Fantastic.
All right. So you should be seeing our first slide.
All look well.
Yay. Technology is a thing.
Off to a great start. Technology experts over here. We got Zoom down. Awesome. Well, I'm Melissa Taylor.
I'm Chris.
Yes,
I tell jokes.
He tells jokes. He'll be telling jokes a lot, as we do.
Yeah.
But I'm the manager for the Center for Innovation here at Fayetteville Public Library. I've been a librarian most of my adult life, working in public libraries from Florida all over Colorado. And I focused on emerging technologies through my graduate program. And so this position here in Fayetteville was just a really natural fit for me. And getting to develop programs like this are really is the peak of my career here. And I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about this.
Cool. And I'm Chris Moody. I'm the Director of IT, AV, and Innovation at the Fayetteville Public Library. I've been working in public library since 2008. Which has been a while now. And getting to create the Center for Innovation as part of our expansion that we'll talk about has been just a dream come true. So we are excited to talk about the Center for Innovation and from Makerspace to Marketplace. Hard for me to say, but I will stumble over my words and it will be great.
And we'll just let's keep going.
All right. So in 2020, we completed. Okay, we're going to turn the volume down. Okay. In 2020, we completed a expansion of our public library. We had about 85,000 square feet, and we added on another 98,000 square feet to our existing library. It was a project that we had been planning since about 2012. And in that space, we knew that we needed to create a makerspace because every cool library has a makerspace. And so since this was a capital project, we were adding on to our building. I wanted to dream as big as I possibly could. So I started planning the largest, most awesome maker technology space that I could possibly build. I wanted to include audio, video, woodworking, metalworking, industrial space, fabric arts, photography, computers, editing suites, you name it. And then when I started working with the architects and the budget folks, we had to reel in the gigantic dreams, and we created a 6,500 square foot technology-centric space. Okay, sorry. You brought that up and I thought the mic wasn't working. Okay, so we created this technology-centric space without the woodworking shops and metalworking shops, and kind of launched the Center for Innovation. We brought Melissa on, and anytime that you launch a new space, we didn't really know what to expect. We added an audio recording studio. This is a picture of our video editing suite, which we've just added some microphones to make it another podcasting space.
And acoustic treatment.
Yes. This is our tiny podcasting booth. We have a world-class audio recording studio, a video production studio. This is our fabrication robotics lab. This is kind of the head of where we do the Maker to Market program. Okay, that's going to cut off. Okay. Oh, and there's Space Cat. It's important. So we created this space, and we started out. We hired Melissa. We knew we wanted to do some really cool programming, but we just started out with these Pulse 3D printers, and we just started doing some programming and tried to figure out where we were going to go.
Yeah.
And from that,
this program was developed. Yeah. So my job, I joined the team in January of 2021, you know, like kind of right at the end of COVID there. And I relocated to Northwest Arkansas. We're in Arkansas, not North Carolina or Alaska, apparently, which is a confusing one too, I've learned recently. But we're in Arkansas. So I moved to Arkansas from Colorado to help build out our fabrication robotics lab and a few of the other spaces. So I got to have a lot of fun being part of that. But like, you know, why are we doing this? Why do we have this program? All of you that work in public libraries, you know, that's what libraries always do. We're always adapting, we're always improving, we're agile, we're always trying to meet the needs of a changing community. And we're really great at democratizing resources and knowledge. So I feel like libraries are a really natural fit for small business development and for giving people access to bring prototypes, inventions, and all kinds of great things to life. We focus a lot on design literacies for part of this program. And the design literacies, as we define them, they're really the foundational skills and knowledge related to design principles and practice, human-centered design thinking, making sure people are going through market testing, ensuring products are actually usable for humans. But this encompasses various aspects of like graphic design, user experience design, you know, understanding how humans are going to interact with them, product design, all of those great things. We're not the only ones, obviously, that are trying to do small business development. But I think that where we are a little bit unique is trying to kind of bring it all together, you know, from idea to implementation is the core component of our program from Maker to Market.
And one of the things as we were designing the Center for Innovation is I wanted to create a space with professional level tools. I've been to, you know, smaller makerspaces and, you know, smaller studios where people can get an idea of how to record an album. But since this was our, you know, I considered it, this was my one shot we're building a new building, or we're expanding our building. This was my shot to put in as much as we could. And I wanted to put in professional quality tools so that people, whenever they come into the space, they can learn a new skill, but they can also basically help reskill and upskill and learn how to, you know, operate in a professional studio.
Yeah, have opportunity to work with tools and software and technologies that are oftentimes industry standards.
Yeah.
So they can possibly go out and translate these skills that they're learning through us into real world employment opportunities.
Yeah.
Or entrepreneurship opportunities like we're doing with this one specifically.
Yeah. And so that's why we bought an FAA approved flight sim.
Yep. You can learn how to fly a plane and be a pilot at the library. It's awesome.
Yay.
Our fabrication lab has changed quite a bit since that video. We replaced our fleet of 3D printers. We upgraded from the Pulse 3D printers to Bamboo Lab. Any of you who are working with Bamboo Lab printers know that
they work
pretty great. They work, they're smooth, they're fast. People really love them. They're user friendly. So we've had a really nice upgrade in the last 18 months or so that we've had them, a little over a year. We also have a fleet in a whole area for SLA printing. So we have a resin processing space. We have 2 Formlabs 3D printers, which are really great for prototyping, rapid manufacturing, and also allowing people to explore different materials. Our Formlabs Form 3 is pretty dedicated to various flexible material printing. So they're able to, you know, work with different textures, different capabilities, strengths, all that kind of stuff. We also have a few specialty printers, as I call them. So we have a Roland BN20. It's a vinyl printer and cutter. We do have a Cricut, but the Roland BN20 is pretty much like a Cricut on steroids, as I call it. It prints in full vivid color. The eco solvent ink is like UV. It won't fade in UV light. A lot of the vinyls and the inks are waterproof, weatherproof, so they can be used for a variety of different applications, from making custom apparel to making car wraps or mountain bike wraps. I've helped someone make a mountain bike wrap for their fancy bike. We also have large format printers for posters, marketing materials, a sublimation printer for folks who are exploring maybe making apparel or, you know, creating a business that's based on sublimation for photographs, whatever. We recently got a new desktop CNC. Our goal is to get a larger CNC at some point to complement our lasers. And then, of course, we have, you know, sewing machines, a heat press, soldering irons, mold maker, all kinds of great stuff. And these are really the core components of the beginning of our Maker to Market program. Is we introduce them all to the tools and technologies available to them to help them bring a product to life, or to bring an invention to life, or just kind of explore how to maybe, you know, speed up some of their current processes in their business. You know, perhaps they're a ceramicist and they want to learn how to make custom molds with 3D printing to make new products. That's where we come in, and that's where our program comes in. And it really all does begin in the fabrication and robotics lab. So this program here at Fayetteville Public Library is
Not somewhere else.
Not somewhere else. No, it is sponsored by the Walton Family Foundation. So a little fun fact about Northwest Arkansas, which is where we're located. It's the home of Walmart corporate. Everything Walmart is based in Northwest Arkansas, just north of us in Bentonville. And they are very generous with their charitable foundations here in the region. And they do a lot to support organizations like ours. And so when they approached us about, you know, potentially developing some sort of program within our new Center for Innovation space, I immediately jumped on the opportunity to develop a program that supports entrepreneurs. It'll help them build new products. And it's kind of in this situation a little bit pretty well balanced. You know, it's a program that supports the Walton Family Foundation. Perhaps these products might wind up on Walmart shelves or Walmart online. So it's something that they want. And the funding really goes a long way in helping us develop this program and support our participants. But I wanted to mention that, like, this program really started because, you know, the Center for Innovation and the library expansion completed in the midst of COVID, when all the prices had skyrocketed, things had gotten crazy in the world, and we came up a little short on our budget to actually staff our Center for Innovation. So when the Walton Family Foundation came to us asking, you know, can we develop a program? They would love to support us through a grant. We jumped on that opportunity because that did allow us to develop our first position aside from myself in the Center for Innovation. So we hired a fabrication robotics lab coordinator. And since then, the Walton Family Foundation has been funding through this program our fabrication robotics lab coordinator, as well as 2 of our Center for Innovation technicians, who help teach classes, offer one-on-ones, and support the program participants in Maker to Market.
Yes. Yeah, as Melissa mentioned, whenever we started, we knew we were going to need to hire staff, but until it was partially a chicken and the egg problem and mostly a money problem, as all of you in library land know. It's hard to get new positions created, especially for a program that is brand new, services that are new to your library. And so getting a grant funded position is much easier to take that type of position and then convert it into a library funded position once we prove that the positions in the program works. And so this was an excellent opportunity to get Melissa some help and to start a really cool program.
Yeah, and be able to finally welcome people in our fabrication robotics lab on a regular basis, and not just trying to fit people in between, you know, my meetings, grant writing, and all the other projects I was working on when I first started here. But what is for Maker to Market? Let me kind of give you a quick overview of how the program works. So this is a 12-week program. It's designed to help bring a business to life from idea to implementation. Like I mentioned, our area is rife with a lot of corporate support. We're also the home of Tyson Foods and JB Hunt Trucking. These multi-billion-dollar corporations are all right here in Northwest Arkansas. So we have a lot of funding and philanthropy going into supporting small businesses, growing this area, bringing talent and technology to this area. So there's a surprising number of organizations here that are made to support startup businesses. We have Startup Junkie, we have a small business and technology development center at the university. They have an entrepreneurship hub at the university also that's open to the public. There are a lot of opportunities for people to access, small business startup support, but the gap there was helping people actually bring their product to life. These business startup groups were great for people who already had a product, who already had a small business and needed to know how to find customers, how to find funding, how to get direction essentially. But prototyping support was pretty non-existent. Micro manufacturing needs were great, and we had all the equipment in our fab lab to support these things. So through classes like basics, we teach them 3D printing, 3D modeling, laser cutting, CNC routing. I teach a mold making and casting workshop. We teach package design and more. But we also include things like product photography and our photography studio, e-commerce development with former Walmart executives, brand identity classes, social media marketing classes, and a lot more. So what we do is this is broken into a cohort model. We offer 3 sessions over the year. There's 2 full sessions, spring and summer. That means they get the full 12-week experience, or sorry, spring and fall. They get the full 12-week experience. Summer is what we call a choose your own adventure opportunity, where we offer a lot of these same classes, and folks who might have, more strict, rigid schedules can kind of just drop in, take some classes that they're interested in, and perhaps they'll join us for the fall cohort, or maybe they're just going to grab and choose what they need class-wise from those options. We also have BYOB, which stands for Be Your Own Boss. It is a version of For Maker to Market for Teens. Yes, I came up with that name, and it's only a little eye-catchingly inappropriate, but I think it's hilarious, BYOB, because I get a lot of side eyes about it. But it's a very popular program for teens. Teens like it, and we offer that over the summer. During spring and fall, we offer about 150 hours of training opportunities. So that includes these printing classes, that includes business development classes, how to find customers, how to do taxes, how to write your business plan. Luckily for us, some of these are taught by a lot of our outside partners like Startup Junkie, the Small Business Technology Center. And then we also have our reference librarian team working to get us, they get us a couple of classes every cohort or so about small business taxes or whatever. And overall, what we do is we kind of create a catalog of courses available, which usually totals about 150 hours. And they have to select their own classes throughout that 12-week cohort. They need to complete 72 hours, but 85% is passing. So that's, in the 60s of hours they have to get to pass the, to complete the program. And recently this year, we included online learning content that we offer through Coursera and through LinkedIn Learning. They're allowed to choose to take a certain number of classes and to apply a certain number of hours from the online learning to their 72 hours. So they spend time in the Fab Lab, that counts toward their 72 hours also. And if they're working one-on-one, with Startup Junkie, one of our community partners, that 2-hour one-on-one session also counts toward their 72 hours. And then it all culminates with Maker Faire in WA. So we are the home of a Maker Faire. We're very excited. We love Maker Faire. And in addition to all the great, things you expect at Maker Faire, this becomes an opportunity for our business owners to sell their products for the first time in a market, or maybe just get out there for some consumer testing, consumer contact, and to explore, more opportunities for them. Here's a few pictures I just wanted to share from our cohort. I think all of these are from the spring cohort. Spring cohort. So they came out and had pop-up shops. We have someone that made some really cool Lego accessories with wood. We have someone who made a waffle mix, but they also made a cool doggy door thing that makes the dogs wipe their feet, but they brought the waffle mix because that was their other business too. And then we have some artists down below as well. So I just kind of wanted to highlight a few of our business owners and what they're doing for us and how they're joining us at Maker Faire. Okay.
Here's the process.
Yeah, so it is a process. It is a lot of work that goes into this program. And this is kind of loosely how it started. So we met our funders, we met our folks at the Walton Family Foundation. We were approached and said pretty much we have some money to give you, help us, here, let's develop a program together.
Yeah.
Help
us develop entrepreneurs, help us, basically feed into the business community of Northwest Arkansas.
Yep.
That's really the focus of what they wanted. I mean, they have other businesses and things that they want to support, but they really wanted to focus in on helping support the entrepreneurship community here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was, and we're happy to take the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And step 2 was consulting with the experts. I think I'm an expert in Makerspace technologies, and I'm a great creative thinker, creative problem solver, so I can help people bring their products to life. But we got really lucky in that we had a local Makerspace expert living here in Northwest Arkansas. His name is Joel Gordon. You may have met Joel through conferences. Joel works for Matter Hackers currently, but Joel was the brainchild of some pretty big local maker spaces and a big innovation hub in Little Rock here. But I know he works all over the country. But we have him locally. So we consulted with Joel and got some ideas about how to support micro manufacturing. That was Joel's big background and big push. And so he really helped us develop a program proposal, creating things within, our abilities and capabilities as a library, but still trying to develop a meaningful program where people can develop a business of some sort. And then we used some of that Walton Family Foundation money to finish up the Fab Lab. We bought that, a couple of Form Labs 3D printers. We went in next level into the resin printing world. We picked up that Roland BN20 vinyl printer. We got the Glowforge as a second laser because we knew lasers are wildly popular. I'm sure like they are in your maker spaces. And we really decked out and finished up our Fab Lab and again leaned into that micro manufacturing prototyping area. And then we hired the team. Like I mentioned, we hired a fabrication robotics lab coordinator that first year. And then since then, we were able to hire 2 more technicians who support the program. And then we had to get out there and connect with the community, kind of find out like what gaps they were experiencing, find some good community partners that could refer participants to us, and also connect with those community partners that would help supply some of the supplementary programming, like business development, networking workshops, photography for product design, e-commerce, all of that stuff. And then we started scheduling workshops. Things looked a little different that first year during our pilot program year, but I'll talk a little bit about that later. But scheduling the workshops, getting people acquainted to the equipment, that was a huge part of it. And that's still an ongoing struggle, honestly. That's the biggest thing is scheduling workshops and making sure that you're offering enough hours so they can actually meet their goals without having too restrictive of options. And there's a lot of thought that goes into that. And this is an application program. So unfortunately, we can't accept everyone that applies to the program because seats are limited, but we do try to accept everyone who has a product that we feel like is viable to bring to life in our space with our tools and technology and resources and knowledge, honestly. So
yeah, when we first opened it, we had several small businesses that had a food component.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to be able to support that, but we have a teaching kitchen, but that was still coming online. And so we weren't able to support the food aspect in the first cohorts, but we're excited that next year, when the next round of cohorts, we are going to be able to add in a food development component.
Yes.
We have a chef on staff that's going to help facilitate some of the classes for the food entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and I
That's
feel
really exciting.
yeah, it is. And I feel like with that, we should almost like acknowledge our privilege a little bit. Like we have a really state-of-the-art teaching kitchen here in our library that was also installed as part of the expansion project. We know that not all libraries have all of these great resources and spaces, and that we're pretty unique in that aspect. But it is a real treat, though, to be able to serve the community in so many different ways and to offer, food-based business programming support starting next year with our executive chef who used to be like, what was that guy's name?
She's Ted Turner.
Ted Turner's
Private
chef for a number of years. That guy owns like the world. So
Who-
what a world. Anyway. So we open applications. It is an application process. We promote the program like crazy. We learned a lot from our first year to our second year of the program for promotions. We'll go over that a little bit too. Launching the program is nerve-wracking. Just like you all know, people just don't show up to things. So it can be so frustrating when you have these goals you have to hit, these outcomes, that you have to reach for grant requirements, and you have a bunch of people just start out really enthusiastically, fill out the application, beg you to join, submit an application 10 days after you closed it, you let them do that, and then they don't show up for anything. Just the story of our lives as librarians.
Brings be patrons.
So I overshoot a little bit and let more people in the program than we actually have room for, knowing that there'll be some fallout. The big point, step 10, this is the key, and this is how to get people to actually complete the program and continue to stay engaged, and it's supporting. I send out monthly surveys, checklists, check in with them. I offer as many one-on-ones throughout the 12-week program as they would like. I meet with them to understand roadblocks and understand if there's any gaps in the training. If they need a certain topic, I will help find an instructor to teach that class here at the library, or I'll find some sort of solid online learning content that can provide them that information. So I'm definitely using my librarian skills in this, helping them research, ways to make more durable paper flowers was one recently that I've been working on. And it worked. EVA foam, it's not paper anymore, but EVA foam is what she was looking for in the end. So that worked out. But and then always revise and evaluate for the next cohort. For us, honestly, each cohort looks a little bit different depending on who's in it and what their needs are. I know a lot of people like to plan their programming, a year out or so. I've never operated like that. It could be a number of reasons, character flaws, whatever you want to call it. But I like to be able to be agile and to pivot and to kind of meet the needs of especially these program participants. So I try to plan like 2 or 3 months out. We get our orientations and all the basics in plenty of time, but being able to reach out to like a community member, somebody wants to build some social media content and they want to learn how to make a video to promote themselves and develop their brand. Well, I got somebody for that. So hold tight, we'll have a workshop on that. So we're always flexible and ready for the next cohort and ready to revise the program. Well, we did it. We did it, and so can you.
Done it now.
I'm really confident that if you have a makerspace of any kind, of any size, you can help support your local entrepreneurship community. And not every version of From Maker to Market is going to look like this in every community. It's going to be a little bit different. Some might go all in, some might start out a little bit smaller. But the first thing you're going to want to do is conduct your needs assessment. That's a big part of what we did as a library when we opened our Center for Innovation, determining what's already out there. What kind of support do your entrepreneurs need in your community? Are they tech-based? Do they need access to really specific software? Are they crafters? Do they need access to some hand tools, woodworking, whatever? Identify those needs and then identify gaps. Who's already out there providing these services? Are there other makerspaces? Are there university opportunities for public makerspaces? Are there business support partnerships that you can work with? Identify your own goals and program vision. Will you be funding a new space? What are your goals and objectives? You already have a space. What are your outcomes? What would you like to see this program become in your area? And how would you like to impact your community? Number 3, inventory your current resources. Again, like what do you have in your library and how can you leverage that to support a small business? A Cricut is a really easy example. I feel like most maker spaces have one of those Cricut vinyl cutters. How can you use and leverage your Cricut for small business owners? Well, now they can make, their custom logo apparel shirts to promote their business. That's one thought. They can make some stickers to hand out to market their business. They can, maybe their business is Cricut and they're starting out small and making like custom mugs or glasses or something. Now they can access the Cricut for the first time and actually get things going in your space.
You have sewing machines and embroidery machines.
Yep.
We have, I had no idea that fabric arts was such a huge thing, and it's growing even more in our community. And some of our Maker to Market participants are designing. What was she designing?
We're the one making custom sewing patterns.
But there's the one she's doing the custom tools for
Quilting.
Yeah, I was like,
custom new tools for quilting.
I think we're making blankets.
Yep.
Words are hard.
Yeah, she's making a really interesting tool, and I think she's moving really fast in the patent process, which patents and trademarks, another workshop that we offer as part of this program. And a local attorney actually volunteers that one for us. We've tried to pay her, but she won't take our money. So we appreciate her time. Once you identify those gaps, develop your program proposal, develop your budget, see who else is out there who you can work with. Are there opportunities to partner with a local business? Are there are there other grant opportunities, which there are? And for those of you in this session, I can probably share some additional information about grant opportunities that from many different levels that can help sponsor this program. But
have you talked to your city's economic development office?
Yes.
There are probably resources in your community, in your city, and an economic development office that's ready and willing to jump in and help.
Yep.
With developing more entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Absolutely. Economic development is a key component to this, and cities and municipalities are always looking for new ways to engage the community that way. We recently found out that our city is really interested in this program too, in addition to some other workforce development programs we've offered. So we're excited. Find partners. Are there other makerspaces out there? Other libraries with makerspaces, universities, colleges? Find someone else. So find some people to work with. And
work
money.
with us.
Work with us.
Talk to us. We're here.
We can help you develop the program. If you're close enough by, anybody in Arkansas out there, we'll come bring our mobile maker kit too and help you out.
Yeah, come visit.
Yes, come see us. But we're going to acknowledge that money is a necessity, right? You have to have money. There are grants out there. There are industry partners out there. And again, we're lucky that we have Walmart as our neighbors, but there are other organizations. And the goal is to make this mutually beneficial to these industry partners, right? Are you going to get them a lot of promotion, publicity? Are you going to get them products to sell? I mean, are you maybe the local travel and the travel people, the people who support travel in your town or your city? We have one, it's called Experience Fayetteville, and they often support us too. There's a word for that.
Yes.
Like travel office for the city. I don't know. Whatever. But again, I can provide a list of additional program grant opportunities, and I'm happy to share the resources that we provide our participants after this also. Okay. We learned a lot.
We've learned a lot.
Yep.
Things have changed.
Yes.
Yeah. So with the first cohort, we developed the program, and we were fairly rigid in the structure. We said you needed to go through this class and then this class, and because we had a prescribed method, and as you all know, all of your patrons are in different points in their lives, they're at different points in their business development process. And so our first cohort, we had, lower numbers. But we had some cool businesses that started. And so whenever we revised the program, we knew we needed to add in flexibility for patrons to give them the opportunity to pick and choose classes when they had the opportunity. Adding the online classes was a huge benefit for people they can add hours, but they can do it on their own time.
And we record and we stream as many of these classes as makes sense, you know, so we might not record and stream, you know, the 3D printing workshop orientation, but we will stream and film the you know, the patents and trademarks lecture presentation by the attorney. So we do try to make as many programs as accessible as we can. 2022 was a pilot program year. So we got the funding in 2022 to launch a 1-year program. Over those 3 cohorts, and we started out with 3 full cohorts, we launched 7 new businesses over 3 cohorts. In 2024, we were awarded a 2-year grant for this. And we're finishing up our 2024 fall cohort right now. But since we started in 2024, our first spring cohort, we launched 10 businesses. That was 1 cohort, 10 actual businesses. So that was huge. Part of this reason is we had a lot more applicants because we enhanced our marketing efforts. I was out there on like local TV. I was on public radio. They even got me on the Library Pros podcast to kind of like start spreading the word about this program all across the library land. And I really put myself out there and really pushed this program, and we had a lot of really great applicants. So we were able to accept, I think we accepted like 15 applicants, and then we had 10 completely finish that cohort and actually launch a business. The others are still working on it.
Yeah.
They haven't dropped out or quit.
One is selling on Amazon right now.
At least 1 is selling on Amazon right now and doing really well. Yeah, they're all doing really well. The differences in 2024 also included a finisher stipend. So this is what I wrote into the new grant was each participant, if they finish all of those hours and they are working to launch their business, the Walton Family Foundation will award them $500 as seed money to get some things started. Maybe they want to launch their website, pay for their patent application, whatever. They have that cash in hand if they finish up the program. We also kind of modified our BYOB program this year. 2022, again, it was a little too rigid for teens, you know, making them come in like every Tuesday and Thursday over the summer. This year, we were more flexible where we had 8 sessions that we met over the summer, and we fed the teens lunch each time. I mean, I used to be a teen librarian. I should have known better. Always feed the teens. And that's how
if you want them to show up, you
yeah.
feed them.
How do you reach these kids? Oh, you feed them. So that worked out really well. And we had a great summer BYOB session. And we're on time. We're doing great. And we're about to wrap this up. And I hope you have a lot of questions. And I also hope that we can maybe do a quick little brainstorming session after some questions if we have time for that. But yeah. I want Chris to talk about our library. This is our library. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So here's some pictures, a couple of pictures of the newly expanded library. Yeah, on the top left, you can see our original building, and then we expanded off of that building and added the cool aluminum looking one with all the glass.
Yeah.
And then the lower picture, we're looking at the newly expanded library, and we added a lot of fun things for patrons. We added a large event space, several more meeting rooms, lots and lots and lots of study rooms. We expanded our children's library, added the teaching kitchen, added the Center for Innovation. We added an art and movement room for dance classes and yoga classes and all of the things. And a lot more art space. So we have a lot of traveling art exhibits that come through the library all the time. So I just wanted to share this is our expanded library. Y'all come visit.
Yeah, and that cool grassy area that you see in both of these photos is our gathering glade, which I love. It's an outdoor event space with it's awesome. It's really cool to have outdoor events. Okay, so I want you all to take note. You can contact us. You can follow the Center for Innovation on FPL_innovation. You can also find the library, Fayetteville Public Library, on Instagram, Facebook, all those socials. And I believe if you go to our website, faylib.org/innovation, you can learn more about the Center for Innovation and our From Maker to Market program. So let's chat. I know I haven't looked at the chat at all because that's very easily distracting.
That was great. Thank you so much. Yeah, there are quite a few questions in the chat. If
Okay.
Let
do
me
you want me?
stop.
Yeah,
sharing.
if you
Bring
want to
up
take a
chat.
look. Yeah, a
No,
few
no,
questions
no,
if you
no.
want to take a look at them and answer a few.
Okay, let's see. Oh, somebody's been to our library. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, cool. Thanks for coming, Crystal.
How do you bring so many professional skills into the library? Do you hire ad specialists and pilots? Or are you guys just super busy? We're just super busy.
Yes, yes. When we do ad specialists.
We have a marketing team.
Yeah, we do have an in-house marketing team, but we did also add in money into the grant for extra marketing because our like all of your teams, you're already overworked. And so our marketing team does a lot, but for this program specifically, we added in extra money to bring in an outside marketing firm to help promote it. And
Yep. Yeah, I wrote that into the grant specifically as to not overwhelm us or our marketing team internally. So we did write in extra funds to support that. And then we're just Renaissance people. I mean, most librarians are. So I learned how to repair an FAA approved flight simulator like my first month here at the library. Just add that to my resume. Not only am I a librarian, but I can fly a plane if ever needed. Not well though.
landing is the key.
Yeah, and
I can take off. I can keep it in the air. Landing is not easy.
and the key to our success, I feel like, and the kind of space that we have that's so multidimensional, is we hired people who are creative and tech savvy. That's sometimes a hard balance, trying to, people that are both creative and into technology. But that's kind of the target that we're looking for folks that work on our Center for Innovation team. How do we organize the Maker Fair?
So we are the Maker Fair site and the
production
we're
team.
the venue, and we put on the Maker Fair for Northwest Arkansas. So we invite all of our friends from the maker community around to come. The Amazium,
our local children's museum comes out. The local art museum comes out and brings projects as well. We got a lot of buy-in from the local schools, the university, some robotics teams. And in terms of like Maker Fair as a brand, we asked Maker Fair, like, hey, can we be a Maker Fair? We don't have any in our region. I think the closest one was Tulsa at the time. And we pay the licensing fee each year, which now is part of the Walton Family Foundation's grant. We had them, they're a sponsor every year now for Maker Fair, at least until these grants run out. But they give us a little bit of money to support Maker Fair also. This is a great question about the resin.
How do you operate it safely?
What a pain. What a sticky, toxic mess that can be sometimes. So we have a very dedicated resin processing space, and we only allow resin processing on days when the fabrication lab is technically closed for drop-ins and for equipment use, because we don't want people in there while those prints are being processed. That's where the off-gassing is happening the most, as it's being cleaned and cured in the UV cure. And we have an air quality meter that detects all ranges of VOC. So we make sure that we're operating really safely in that. And then we make sure that we dispose of like any resin waste or materials like immediately. We don't let the resin just sit there, like the supports, we don't let them just sit there and off gas in the room. We cure those, we throw them away, and we work with our local hazardous waste material city people to help us dispose of any saturated IPA with resin.
And as a side product of having just come through a pandemic, our facilities team ramped up the airflow that runs through the Center for Innovation. And so they keep the airflow change out in that space at an elevated level because there are toxic things in the air.
Yep. So we have a pretty dedicated space for resin printing and certain times that you can actually use those pieces of equipment when people aren't there. That was an open access 3D print. They weren't selling that, they were just making prints with it. But we do run into that pretty frequently. And so part of the onboarding is I talk a lot about copyright, fair use, and kind of navigating those Creative Commons spaces, navigating 3D printing. Luckily, we haven't had anyone that's trying to start like a solely 3D printing business where they're just going to be churning out a whole bunch of 3D prints. But we do talk about, as part of our 3D printing orientation, licensing, how that works if you want to sell a 3D printed product. So we go over all of that. But
we did have someone who was wanting to print their own knockoff T-shirts and sell them, and we're like, no,
Patagonia,
you can't. No,
they're trying to. I'm like, that's bootleg clothing. Sorry,
we can't do
we
that.
can't do that. Please don't do that at the library. So we do have to get people up to speed on that. We don't have any certifications for skills that are recognized by companies yet, but we are trying to work with Matter Hackers to develop an industry recognized of some sort certification program for folks who are going to be going through 3D printing like series of workshops, as well as lasers and CNC.
Yeah.
So we're trying to develop some sort of certification, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. We do have the certifications for the workforce development program.
Yeah,
We have a
yes.
separate program that focuses on skilled trades, heavy equipment operation,
And IT training through
and
Coursera.
IT training through Coursera, and
Yeah.
those have certifications that are recognized. So we have our HVAC program has recognized certifications for that, but
Mhm.
not for 3D yet.
Not yet. Our travel maker kit is still coming to life, but we have a bamboo A1 mini. We're going to get a laser pecker. We have 3D printing pens. We have snap circuit kits, and we'll have soldering kits on that as well, just to kind of get us started. I think we're going to get one of the little mini crickets too. The goal with that is to do some pop-up maker spaces out throughout the community and
And the Makey.
the Makey kits. Yeah, we have Makey
I like
Makeys
Makey
also.
Makeys.
So we have a few things in our maker kit, and we're always trying to expand that. Okay, went over that. Cool. Good. You guys are sharing great information about resin and
Cool.
toxicity. The disposal of the toxic old IPA is the trickiest. We come to the point where we let our city handle that, our hazardous waste city, department handle that.
Hopefully they're doing the right thing.
Cool. 3D printed one. Tourism and hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's
Yes.
exactly. See, we're all on the same page here. Cool. BIB sounds great. I'll share that. Absolutely. Job description for new employees. Ooh, I can share those if you'd like. I don't know if we have the capabilities of, maybe I can go through Library Makers and provide some links and stuff, a little packet to send out.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we can post it on our platform.
Perfect. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah,
So I'll share some of our
if
job
you have
descriptions.
resources attached to this presentation, when we post the recording, we can put those under it. So it's connected with
Awesome.
this. Yeah.
Cool. Fabulous.
We'll share it all.
Yeah, we'll share what we got. We hope at some point to be able to develop a toolkit for this program that any library at any level can kind of pick up and run with and help develop a program at their own library. So hopefully coming soon. Oh, some lights turned off out there. That's okay. We'll see if we can get some additional grant funding to support that, but I'm really hoping that you can come see us at some conferences. We tend to present at Computers and Libraries and ALA and any place that they'll let us get into to talk about this program and others that we're doing here. We love talking about Fayetteville, a weird little spot in Northwest Arkansas that has this really great library and a really great team here.
Yes.
So, any other questions?
I just want to thank you so much for this presentation. I saw you at ALA and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe what's happening in Fayetteville, and the world needs to know this.
Yay!
Thank you so much for having us, and thanks
Yeah.
for inviting us to the Library Makers Happy Hour. It was so nice to meet everyone there and to
Awesome.
connect with fellow makers. Yeah, it was great.
We did have a good time.
We had a really great time. Yeah.
Wow,
Well, you
yeah.
know where to find us. Feel free to reach out with any questions. You have our emails. I hope to hear from some of you. Come visit us.
Oh yeah, definitely. After seeing your space and all the equipment you have, I definitely want to definitely
Come to
visit.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I just want to say on behalf of Library Makers, thank you again, Melissa and Chris, for a very informative and inspiring presentation. I know a lot of us are taking away a lot from what you have shared with us today, so thank you. And I want to thank everyone else for attending the event today. And I just put it in the chat, a little survey. We would love your feedback on today's event and also what you would be interested in for the future. So please take a moment to fill out this very, very short survey. And also, I would like to plug an upcoming event for Library Makers. November 6th and 20th, we will have Brian Jenkins talking about his new book, The Tinkering Workshop. He is a Makerspace educator. So his book is full of STEAM projects that you can do with everyday materials. So it should be a really great time. He'll go behind the scenes on his book, and then we'll get to do a project together. So it should be really fun. Thank you everybody again for coming, and hopefully we'll see you over at our platform, librarymakers.org.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone.
thanks everybody.
Stop.
You know what I like?